podcast wizard, Spencer, his family was in the area. He came by and he did some B-roll stuff. And he was asking me some questions. One of the questions he asked me, he said, "How important are the numbers?" And my response was, "The numbers are critical and the numbers don't matter." And Spencer has followed what we're doing long enough that his response was, he said, "That's not really contradictory, is it?" And no, it's not. The truth of the matter is the numbers have to be right, okay? That's critical. The numbers have to be right. But if the numbers are right, then they don't matter, right? But the other way around is a problem. If we have a concept and the numbers are wrong, then the concept's a lie, right? That doesn't work. On the other hand, if all we have is the numbers and we've left out the objectives of the client, the principles that they're based on, all of the other pieces, then the numbers don't matter. They're pointless, right? People don't think in terms of numbers. They think in terms of what they want to accomplish, what those numbers are going to provide for them. So if we start with the numbers, if we start at the end, we can't ever get back to the beginning. We've got to establish that base first. And so why this is a little different, so Kim was joking about it being hard and into the numbers right off the bat. The principles are a critical piece. Now, one of the things that Patrick Donahoe and Kim and I have been working on for quite a while is creating a movement, trying to get our industry back to where it is. And by back, it's kind of an interesting idea. Several years ago, up until several years ago, we called what we do non-traditional. And we got to looking at the language there, and the language is so important. And we realized our language was flawed. What we were trying to do is separate ourselves from what else was going on in the industry. But if you think about it, what we're doing now is traditional. This is what financial strategies used to be. What's out there in the world right now is typical. And so we've shifted our thought. Rather than traditional and non-traditional, we're traditional, and what's out there is typical. And so that's an important piece, and we want to get back to that. So think about this for a minute. How long have computers been out? Portable computers.
Yeah, PCs.
Ones that you can actually show to a client. Not very long, right? So that's a small blip in the time frame of how long insurance companies have been around. Agreed? So how in the world did people sell life insurance and provide benefits for families prior to the computer age? What's that? We drew pictures, right. But we connected the dots, right? We showed what the benefits were. We understood the principles. We solved the objectives of the client because we actually found out what those were instead of just jumping into the numbers. The numbers should have made that job easier, but I think what's happened in the meantime is that's become the focus and we've left the principles behind. We've got to get back to the principles place and use the numbers just to support that. And as Kim said earlier, one of the things is you don't have to use the software in front of the client. But the software could give you confidence, and that's going to be reflected in your voice, and your client's going to know you know what you're talking about if you understand that the numbers are right, and you've poked at them, and you've pushed on them, and you've tried every different direction and tried to disprove them and everything else. One of the things, Mike Isom was at training in Houston time before last, and he said a great thing. He said, you know, the more often I come to training, the less I use the software in front of the client. Why is that? Because he knows the numbers are right. And he can say that with confidence to his clients. And his clients don't typically ask the question. If they do, he knows he can pull it out and solve the problem. So do what fits who you are as far as using it, but make sure the numbers are right. This is a tool to be able to help you with your confidence, help you discover what's out there and whether it's right or wrong. It kind of